we have a situation going on. Friends, don't hit the panic button yet, but something is happening. And I suppose this is in reference to the conversation I had from Stephen. Used to be at the Kingdom Hall. Used to be all over the Kingdom Hall, but you don't see it anymore. It's gone. And does God really care about us? Really? Really, God? I could have completely misconstrued what is going on here, but I believe this is the... I searched through my Watchtower library, and I think this is the brochure you speak of. And I am, I think we may have hit pay dirt here, Steve. It turned out that this woman is her husband here. And I guess it so happened that he turned out to be gay. And I don't mean he's a little bit light in the sneakers. I mean, now I could be wrong. Steven, this is what you were relaying to me. He really gay. I mean, he's man on man. I mean, like George Michael at a baby changing station. He's gay. And, it would seem to hold some credence, at this point, Stephen, because you're right. This is a very sneaky thing, but they replaced one family with another. It gave a whole new meaning to the term "my two dads." Just kidding. Stephen, I've been through these. Now you can correct me on other stuff if I'm wrong. I have been wrong a lot in my life. I'm wrong a lot. So, who knows what's going on. But, Stephen, I have gone through these brochures with a fine-tooth comb, and let me do you the... Whoa! Easy! Oh, I like that picture! Especially this raccoon! These brochures, as far as I can tell, are identical. Even the chapters talking about the last days, it was just your basic cut and dry stuff, and I couldn't find any inconsistencies in there. As far as I can tell, the entire purpose of redoing this whole brochure was to get these people off the cover. I'm sorry, I had my weenie in an electric socket right there. Thousands of disfellowship people have been somewhere in Jehovah's Witness literature. Look, you can't redo stuff every time someone gets disfellowshipped. It's not enough. They'd have to burn stacks of literature. And you can't re-release stuff just because somebody got disfellowshipped. Something happened with these people. Something bad. And it was something where someone had egg on their face. Now, I could be wrong about Stephen knowing this woman or knowing her story. But what I'm not wrong about is somebody somewhere in New York had said, I gotta get these people off this thing. And replace them with these people who are better. The Bible says that Jehovah is not unrighteous so as to forget your works, but Jehovah's Witnesses, there you get the fellowship. They do the thing where they'll get the scissors out. They'll cut your picture. They'll cut your face out of family picture. And they take a flamethrower to shit these days. They buckle under the first sign of pressure and they will get rid of you. Interesting thing that's going on with me now is people that I knew from my past as a Jehovah's Witness now are denying everything. They just deny my existence. Like the current thing now, because I've been kind of a pain in the ass for a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses, now they're doing a thing where they just say I'm just some weirdo. They say they don't know me. And it might work. The thing is, I don't have, it's not like my name is carved into stone somewhere. Once they burn all my stuff, once they throw all my pictures in the trash and everything, there is nothing left of me. What? Do I have some plaque somewhere? It's not like my face is in Mount Rushmore. What am I going to do? If you've been a Jehovah's Witness and they erase you, how are you going to... You're at their mercy, I guess. I am at the mercy of Jehovah God, and I'm like a sheep carried in his bosom. And, so, Steven, I guess you can, in the comment section, you can straighten us all out, but it would seem to back up the Steven version of events here that something is going on with this family. We'll get to the bottom of it, Steven. We will get this figured out and return to the ministry. I loved baseball. It's all I thought about. Being in meetings, the way I survived meetings. I can't tell you how many meetings I was sitting there, and I would imagine entire innings of baseball in my mind. I would imagine myself as not even a baseball player. I would imagine myself as the narrator of the baseball game. I don't know. What do they call the guy that narrates the sportscaster? I would imagine myself calling baseball games. That's how it's bad when you're a Jehovah's Witness kid and you're not even fantasizing about playing baseball. You're fantasizing about watching baseball. You're imagining in your head that you're watching baseball. But I loved baseball. It was my dream to be a ball player. I collected baseball cards, even though I had to keep them hidden. Because, as you know, you can't collect baseball cards. It's idolizing the athletes. But I had a secret baseball collection. I kept them inside books. And when my parents would give me money for a candy to go into a gas station, instead of buying the candy, I would buy one of those little package of Donruss baseball cards. Diamond Kings. Topps baseball cards with the little piece of gum came in it. My secret dream was to be a baseball player, and I didn't have anyone to play with. I had brothers and sisters, but they were not going to do that with me. My parents did buy me a mitt and a baseball, and I would spend many evenings tossing it up in the air, running and catching it. I got pretty good at pop flies. So if you need a pop fly caught, I was your man. But as far as pitching and hitting, I don't know that my skills would have ever developed. You can't really pitch to yourself. I've tried. I always thought I would have been a good baseball player. There's no way to know now. But I always felt like I would have been one hell of a player. Grade school was hard. When you're isolated as a JW kid, you're an anomaly to begin with. But it wasn't just the school, it was the extracurricular activities that I wanted so desperately to participate in. When I saw the other little boys that had the baseball uniforms, I remember seeing them in the baseball field, walking by, and I wanted so much to be one of them. And I even asked my parents if I could play baseball. They said no more than once. And he said, well, first of all, they play the national anthem before games. I don't think they do that at children's games. I don't think so. But that was always their thing. They said, they're going to make you salute the flag. They will make you... you'll have to take your hat off during the national anthem. They'll expect you to do that. You can't do that. And I want just the whole thing. Having the baseball cap, the camaraderie, the teammanship of the other little boys, going for pizza, having pizza and soda after the games, having the fun coach takes you. I always heard about it at school. I just wasn't My parents said that I had a different hobby, going out in field service. Which, by the way, that was not my parents' idea. That was my idea. You see, when you go to the Kingdom Hall with your parents, you're sitting there taking in the same information they are, and believe it or not, field service is your idea. It's something you want to do. You're motivated by your love of Jehovah, even if you don't think so. You know that because your parents will tell people that. At assemblies, they'll say that. At assemblies, they assure the audience and the world that Jehovah's Witness children are not pushed door to door. They don't drag kids to the door. It's what the children insist on doing for Jehovah. You couldn't stop. The thing with JW kids, you can't stop them from going door to door. And this is reinforced so many times in their minds that even when they grow up, even if they thought they were sad at the time, they eventually are told enough times that going out in service was their idea, and by the time they're 21 years old, they believe it. And they will tell you so themselves. And it doesn't, by the time you're 20, it doesn't matter. You've gotten used to it. You accepted it. Going door to door, walking up the driveway with your dad, and seeing other kids you knew from school. Walking up a driveway, the kids from your own class, your own grade, standing there playing basketball, shooting hoops on a Saturday morning, and they look at you. You're wearing a little suit, little penny loafers. You have a book bag. You're 8 years old, and they're looking at you like, what are you doing? They're astonished. They can't believe it. And it is awkward on Monday morning when you walk back into that classroom and you were walking up to their door with a book bag and a suit on. But it's not as bad as you think. When you're grown up, it won't matter. When you're a little boy, though, you look through the door when the householder opens it up. Sometimes you will see other children sitting there watching TV. It's the only way I even knew of the cartoons that I was dying to watch. Pole Position. Dungeons and Dragons. I remember my dad had a long conversation with the householder, and I got to watch a good third of an episode of Dungeons and Dragons. It was wonderful. That was a memorable morning in field service. Watching through the crack in the door is how I also learned of the Pee Wee Herman Show, Pee Wee's Playhouse. I kept trying to feign some sort of illness that would overtake me on a Saturday morning for the dream of getting to watch an episode of Pee Wee's Playhouse. I almost got to once. I came close. Construed what is going on here, but I believe this is I searched through my Watchtower library, and I think this is the brochure you speak of. And I am, I think we may have hit pay dirt here, Steve. It turned out that this woman is her husband here. And I guess it so happened that he turned out to be gay. And I don't mean he's a little bit light in the sneakers. I mean, now I could be wrong. Steven, this is what you were relaying to me. He really gay. I mean, he's man on man. I mean, like George Michael at a baby changing station. He's gay. And, it would seem to hold some credence at this point, Stephen, because you're right. This is a very sneaky thing, but they replaced one family with another. It gave a whole new meaning to the term "my two dads." Just kidding, Stephen. I've been through these. We have a situation going on, friends. Don't hit the panic button yet, but something is happening, and I Suppose this is in reference to the conversation I had from Stephen. Used to be at the Kingdom Hall. Used to be all over the Kingdom Hall, but you don't see it anymore. It's gone! And? Does God really care about us? Really? Really, God? I could have completely missed this. Now you can correct me on other stuff if I'm wrong. I have been wrong. A lot in my life. I'm wrong a lot. So, who knows what's going on. But, Steven! I have gone through these brochures with a fine-tooth comb, and, let me do you the... Whoa! Easy! Oh, I